Why don't you give our viewers an idea of how you used to feel about flying?
Well, I was very nervous about flying in the past. I had flown once before in my life, and it was to go see my brother in California, and I did not do very well at all. I was nervous going out there. I was nervous the entire time I was out there, and I actually cut my trip a little short to just get over the fear of flying back, because I knew eventually...
You were just anticipating that flight back, right?
That's all I could think about the entire time I was there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no stress at all and 10 being yikes, where were you putting?
I was very much 10.
Really?
I was. I was basically non-functional. I couldn't... I had no desire to go out and enjoy myself when I was there.
Because you were thinking about the ride home, right?
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about.
Yeah. What was it like up in the air when you flew? I mean, what were you most concerned about?
I was concerned about... I think I have a very basic fear of heights to start with, but I also just felt like I was suspended in air, and what was keeping me suspended, and the thought process just started going, and I couldn't shut it off.
What were the physical sensations for you in hypnosis?
I felt like things were slowing down a little bit. I felt that along with my mental relaxation, I was also physically relaxing. I was able to really just kind of let go of holding my muscles tight, things that I didn't even know I was doing until you suggested them. And I really felt that there was a lot of physical relaxation as well.
A lot of clients experience sometimes a mind-body connection, as though the body kind of melts away to the point where it's no longer part of the equation at times. Is that something that you experienced?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I did feel like, you know, and I think one of the things that you may have said was, you know, feel your back melting, and it is very easy to relate to that when you're in hypnosis, because you can let go and you just become very focused on the words.
Yeah.
And you're not physically aware.
Yeah.
Because you've made the choice that you don't want to be.
Right. It was your choice, and in hypnosis is a relationship of trust and cooperation. If you trust that the things that I'm going to say to you are going to help you, then you're more likely to cooperate and go along and be positively involved in the process, which you clearly were. So the whole, like I said earlier, the whole first third of the session is getting there, and that's what we just got through describing. Now we're there, you're in the depths of the session, and we get to what we call the therapeutic portion of the session, which helped you to cut the cord from these irrational, unwanted fears and concerns with flying. So maybe you can share with the viewers what some of that was like for you. I know that we talked about the difference between probabilities and possibilities, right?
Yeah, we did. And really thinking about the difference between those two is what really helps.
Yeah. It's possible that you could win the lottery and never have to work another day in your life. Probably not so much, right? And if you take that logic, we take the intellectual knowledge, bring it down, I always point to the heart for the subconscious. And in hypnosis, you begin to understand that, of course, it was possible that any of your distorted fears of flying were remotely possible. Probably not, right?
Right, and that's the difference between, you know, when I thought about it beforehand, I just always assumed that something would be wrong with the plane I took, or something would be even though it was a probability, it wasn't necessarily a possibility, and I really had a hard time distinguishing between those two, because the anxiety and the fear wouldn't let me.
Distorted everything. Yeah, yeah. That type of fear is primal, isn't it?
It is.
And you just can't think straight. So in hypnosis, everything slows down, everything becomes very still, calm, and clear, so that you can have a better opportunity to truly understand the powerful difference between two simple words. And then, as we get into the session, I think there was one of the sessions where you actually got a chance to take a plane ride. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that was the second session.
What was that like?
It really was freeing. It was certainly something that prior to the first session I wouldn't have had much interest in trying to do, but it really did work out. It was very relaxing. It was in an atmosphere where I could let everything, relax and just let go. And even though it was just a hypothetical, it still was, it felt like a plane ride.
Right. Yeah.
And
In
knowing
conversation,
that
it was hypothetical, but in hypnosis, it can feel damn real, can it?
yes,
Yeah.
it can, and it did.
Yeah.
And I was able to do it.
What would you say to someone, say to our viewers, about hypnosis and whether or not you'd recommend?
I would definitely recommend it. I feel that's the reason I was able to go to London for work and have a successful trip.
Do you think that there's any downside to hypnosis?
None.
No.
None at all.
And there's, like you just described, there's unexpected pleasant surprises in other areas.
There are. And in the middle, I actually had a vacation with my wife, which otherwise I might not have been able to have as good a time if I didn't go to your sessions first.
Did she go with you to England?
No, she
Okay.
didn't. No.
Oh, I see.
But we had a planned vacation for our
Okay.
anniversary.
Did that involve a plane ride? Or?
It did not.
Oh, okay.
But I was able to focus on things other than the plane ride when I was
I
was
see.
away. That was my biggest fear, that our anniversary fell right before I had to go away on this plane trip. But I think that with our sessions, I was able to relax, and I brought my CDs for that too.
That's so cool. That's an unexpected benefit, isn't it?
That was a great benefit, and I bet my wife would would second that.